What up, dude? And welcome to a quick edition of the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. And I said I would go live today when I had something to report. And of course, if you pay attention, you know there's something to report. The Detroit Lions have traded for Cleveland Browns defensive end Za'Darius Smith. Let's look at the trade. The Lions also get a 2026 seventh round pick. They give the Browns a 2025 fifth round pick and a 2026 sixth round pick. And the salary for Za'Darius Smith this year for the Lions are on a hook for $605,000 of his salary. The Browns already paid $11 million of his guaranteed salary. For this year guaranteed. Next year he has $11 million salary and it's not guaranteed. So let's get in the comments, man. Let me know in the comments what you think about the trade for Za'Darius Smith and the Detroit Lions. Actually, I like the trade. I know people are gonna say, oh, it's not really a ground moving move. I look at it like this: Za'Darius Smith brings something to the Lions that they don't have. They don't have a proven pass rusher. Now, I was listening to Get Up this morning when the trade happened, and they have to get some things together so I can get online right here to give my reaction. I think it's a good trade because of the fact that the Lions aren't devoid of pass rushers. They just needed help. They have a young pass rushers that are kind of hybrid with Levi Onwuzurike and Josh Pascal. We've missed Josh Pascal the last two games, but we're going to get him back for this game against the Houston Texans coming up on Sunday Night Football. And then you mix in a Za'Darius Smith where he's going to help those guys, the other guys, they're concentrating on him. He's going to help the other guys kind of get loose. So I expect a big game from Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike with Za'Darius Smith in the lineup. I'm liking what's going on with the Detroit Lions. I'm glad that they didn't have to sell the farm to get help. I mean, you look at this, they're only really giving up a, one draft pick because they're getting Za'Darius Smith and a draft pick back. So you look at it and you know what Brad Holmes can do with picks. He could turn that 7th round pick into a 4th round pick, added a package deal with some other draft picks. But the Lions get the pass rush help that they need going forward. I don't think they could do it. The things that they were doing going into the later part of the season. I understand they're getting some plum pressures, but you look at the game against the Green Bay Packers. They had a lot of pressures, but they didn't have a sack. And you have to sack a guy that has a groin injury. It's just one of those. I'm like, you got to sack this guy. But they get the pass rush help they need, and it was the worst kept secret in the league that this was a deal that's supposed to be happening. It was announced on Sunday from Pro Football Talk that this deal was in place. I think that the Browns were trying to bleed the clock out and say, hey, we want because they originally wanted a 4th round pick. I don't think Brad Holmes is going to get a 4th round pick for a 32-year-old defensive end. Now, he has more sacks, almost as many sacks this season, Za'Darius Smith by himself, than the rest of our guys have combined. Because you look at our sacks on the season, over half of them are from Aiden Hutchinson himself at 7.5. The rest of the guys only got 6.5, and he has 5 sacks by himself. Speaking about Za'Darius Smith, I like the compensation. I like that it really didn't move the needle for the salary cap because you can have him next year. You can restructure that deal and kind of get it out there. Let's look at my man Brent DeWitt. Salute to my fellow veteran. He said, "I love it when Brad cooks." Oh yeah, baby, I like that too. Brent DeWitt, I like the fact that they didn't have to really spend the farm on it. I don't really think that the Lions are done today. To be honest with you, I think it may be something where they may get another some more pass rush help. You look at the game Muhammad had this weekend. Yeah, he was better last week than he was this week. I just think he was a long-term answer. And Smith came in for some defensive line help. He's more of an interior guy. But you look at the fact that you'll probably get Mekhi Wingo back here shortly. He'll probably be back in this game back for against the Texans as well. You're getting Za'Darius Smith coming this week. You're gonna get Josh Pascal and you're gonna have Mekhi Wingo, the pass rush is gonna be fine. I think we can win with these guys. So and the funny thing is I was listening to Dan Campbell on 97.1 The Ticket doing his weekly interview, and the news broke at the very end of his interview, and they broke the news to him, and he was like, "Oh, I guess Aaron Rappaport knows everything." But great, it's great news for us Lions fans. The Lions that we're finally getting some help that we need. All right, hey Kurt, what time do you think Brad was up today? Maybe he didn't go to bed. I don't think he did at all. To be honest with you, I probably he probably got a couple hours in his office, and he probably was up on the phone. Because this wasn't the only deal that was on the table. You look at reports that there was another deal that was out there with the Raiders looking for a deal for Max Crosby. I don't think that was something that probably Brad Holmes didn't want to pony up as much as he did, as much as they wanted from the Raiders, because you got to look at it. It was a third and a conditional third round. It could be a second for a player with the caliber of Devontae Adams, and Max Crosby is a lot younger player with more upside and more longevity in the league than the Devontae Adams, and they probably wanted probably a first and a second, or two firsts for Max Crosby. I don't think that was a deal the Lions were going to make, but the deal is that the Lions got their pass rush. Let's look at it one more time. They got the pass rush help that they need. We'll look over the details one more time. Put it back on the screen. You're going to get Za'Darius Smith to the Lions for a 2026 7th round pick going to the Lions. Excuse me. And they give the Browns a 2025 5th round pick, a 2026 6th round pick, and they don't have to pay most of his salary. It's already paid for this year. They only hooked for $605,000 for this year, and non-guaranteed $11 million for next year. That was restructured. So you look at it, you're probably going to get 2 years with Za'Darius Smith, and you got to compare him with Aiden Hutchins next year. It's going to be a good trade. Hey, if there's anything else that breaks out, man, I will definitely let you guys know. But thank you guys for tuning in right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate by Detroit Lions news and rumors. Yes, Brent DeWitt, more pressures and sacks incoming. Great trade. I believe it is as well. But hey, like I said, if I see anything else, if I hit some more news breaks out, man, we'll definitely have another live reaction show. And we're going to break this trade down even further tomorrow morning on our show with my man LL and Coach Mike. Great to hear what my defensive line coach has to say about this trade. Hey, whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For myself, this is Kurt Steele, and I will holler at you real soon.